That is out fucking standing. Fucking cars.
I'm ready for it.
On this season of Luke's Man Cave, I'm going to build a drift car. Last season, I promised you that I'd be building something bigger, better, faster and stronger. Here it is. The reason why we're going through all of this expense and shit, if you look at the difference between the connecting rod that's going out and the one that's going in, it's obviously a lot more manful, and they're about the same sort of weight. So we can run a lot more power with proper rods. I'm told that the pistons are fine. We're putting a larger multi-layer steel head gasket on there to lower the compression ratio ever so slightly, so we don't have to worry about the fuel too much. Winning. 450-ish horsepower, certainly over 400. Reliable is what we're after. Piston goes up and down, converts the explosion of the combustion into up and down movement. The crankshaft turns it into a rotational force that is then transferred via the clutch gearbox drivetrain to the wheels. Piston rings, because obviously these go up and down, but you don't want it such a tight fit. You need some sort of spring because obviously engines get hot. When materials get hot or cold, they expand and contract. So you need some sort of a spring to dictate or to allow for the heat expansion. The reason why we gap piston rings is because the expansion, so let's shoot that in there. There's a gap in the ring, that is called the piston ring gap. The reason for that is because that is all the way round, and when the ring gets hot, it will expand and close that gap. Because this is a turbo application, there's going to be more heat in the engine, and because there's more heat, that will expand even more. If you don't make it a little bit bigger, it will get so hot, it will close up, and then it will force the piston ring outwards, and it can explode the engine. So while we've got the engine apart, we're just going to double check that these rings are the right size. Because this is an unknown engine to us and I want it to be reliable, it might have been done already, because some of the bits on there are really good, but then some bits are not really good. So without knowing, we need to know. The way we'll do this, so we've got the specs of turbo piston rings for this engine. Recommended is 0.483, so long as the 0.4 goes and the 0.5 doesn't, or certainly the 0.6 doesn't, then we're winning. 0.6 does not go, that'll be fine. These rings have been gapped already. That is out fucking standing. You'd rather too big than too small, because if it's too big, you'll get a little bit of smoke and a little bit of oil burning, but that's acceptable. If you remember earlier, I was saying that the piston rings are like a spring. So this little jacket we're putting on is called a piston ring compressor. And it means you can fit the piston rings, or the pistons, without them shooting out and damaging stuff. Hey, so a job that needs to be done is I need to change the spark plugs in this because they're of unknown age and gap, and I don't know what they are. I do know what needs to go in. So we're going to be running, as recommended by the tuner, because trust your tuner, we're going to be running an NGK BKR7E. The difference being how hot or cold a spark plug is supposed to range. So in a turbo application, there's more heat, as we explained earlier. So we want the electrode not protruding as much. Basically, too much of it will be out, so it will get too hot and it will burn away very quickly. Let's get them gapped up first and then we'll get them replaced. Perfect. That is a 0.6 of a millimetre gap. Spit on that tang.
Oh, you gotta give him that hot and spit on that thing. You get me?
Yeah. Screen wash. Obviously I need my screen washers for my MOT that's upcoming. Some people might be asking, why on earth is he covering that beautiful rocker cover and all of that with a bit broken plastic? The answer is rain will fall down there and it will fill up them cylinders with water and it will cause me mischief. So plonk that on there. I've had a lot of people ask me the specification of the engine. So it's E46 M54B30, so it's a 3 litre, and we have added turbo. What do you need to do to add turbo? So you need more fuel. We've gone for 630cc Bosch injectors. Mass airflow sensor can't keep up with boosted amounts, so we've gone for an RS4 MAF that's been mapped into it to accommodate that, but that's good. DG Maps have done the mapping and will be doing the mapping. Because when you turbo a car, you need to allow for more heat, so the piston ring gaps need enlarging. You will have seen this on the episode. So we've gone for the first ring, 0.5, and the second ring is 0.6. That's of a millimetre. Obviously you've seen we've upgraded the rods. That is because we've got more air. More air equals more bang, more power. But to account for that, we need more stronger connecting rods. The exhaust manifold on there is made by a Polish chap, and he goes by K64. You can find this on eBay. It seems a very good quality. The turbo that we have, so it was a Ling Long turbo Chinese thing. It blew up. That's why, because it was poorly made. There is a chap in Essex called Bernie, Turbo Bernie's Blowers or something. He's rebuilt it, he's put modern bearings in there, so it's now 360 twin ceramic bearing turbo, and it's gonna spool up super quick. Because we've got turbo and more bang and stuff, we've gone for ACL race bearings. They have a very good selection for BMWs. I totally recommend them. I wouldn't recommend King bearings, they fall apart and break stuff. Also on heat management, so because things are getting hot now where there's not supposed to be heat, we've gone for Funk Motorsport heat coverings on everything. They are very good. Not the cheapest, but I'm not skinned. Rocker cover, we've gone for an aluminium rocker cover. Other things you need to do, because obviously boosted, we're not running idle control valve anymore, so you need a blank kit. DG Maps sell the blank kit and they'll also map it out for you as well. Because we're running turbo, we need oil feed in, protected by Funk. And we need oil return to the block, also protected by Funk. We've also got coolant in and coolant out. Because it's a ceramic ball bearing turbo, it needs to be kept reasonably cool. Thanks for watching this episode of Luke's Man Cave, where we built an engine. Did you see that? We've built an engine. Please like and subscribe, and I can't wait to show you the next episode.